And then I'm like, well, what about robots? You've got, and they're like, well, we're not going to get into the swords, which the public was just shown the last 6 years. But we even have even better stuff, but that's classified. And boy, I've talked to the troops. Boy, do they. I mean, they got stuff right out of Terminator. Heck, worse. I mean, we are in so much trouble. And the globalists are getting to the point where they don't even need the troops anymore. It's going to be self-aware robots and drones, and that's in the Washington Post. They're already testing them. There are already drones in the air that make the decision on who to kill. Stay with us. The scientific technocratic elite by the mid-1850s published white papers publicly admitting that they saw humankind as a disease, echoing the words of Malthus 100 years before, and that they would establish a global government through the British Empire to carry out a scientific dictatorship for the orderly extermination of the world population. Now the New World Order looks down upon us from space with their spy satellites, their tracking systems where all human activity is being chronicled. The planet is being turned into an artificial habitat with weather control, ground-based radar systems manipulating the atmosphere and interacting with aircraft-injected aerosol systems. This can be used, of course, to manipulate weather fronts and storms. It can also be used to cut off the water supply to countries that don't pay their IMF World Bank loans, pay back their loan sharking impossible-to-pay fees. It can be used against countries that are enemies of the globalists. The Pentagon, by 1964, certified Stanford Research Institute that they could create hurricanes, steer hurricanes, make them stronger or weaker, or kill them. Oh, but they couldn't protect you from Katrina. The globalists, under their shadow government system, have stolen tens of trillions of our energy credits. They've stolen our energy through the fiat banking system to build this scientific dictatorship. They are now looking down upon us. They see us as absolute trash that are infecting their planet, and they want us out of the way. If we have any hope of defeating these people, we have to wake up to the full horror. We have to study the globalist elite and their sadistic, control-freak ways. We have to understand their programs and their propaganda. We have to totally detach ourselves from their false reality projection system that's meant to capture us in their false reality. We must study and look for the truth of the scientific dictatorship and then begin at point-blank range at every level, pulling ourselves out of the system. Because the globalists are still dependent on our energy and on our labor to fund themselves. They're rapidly racing towards purely robotic factories in China, as Foxconn just came out with, that will be maintenance by robots, where the robots will do the building, where robots will do the delivery, where robot Google trucks will deliver the goods. They're probably 10 years away from being over 95% robot, but once they get to that point, they can launch military robot attacks, drone attacks in the air, land, sea. Humans will no longer be needed, and the global elite have openly written in public white papers they plan to exterminate us as soon as this project is complete, and they will use the robotic system and the robotic weather control system to totally shut off human life, even if it takes killing the surface of the earth. The globalists will then retreat to their bunkers, reemerge with the seed vaults, and repopulate the earth in the new Eden they are trying to set up. They believe that they are playing God. They believe that they are better than us. What scientists came up with 160 years ago was sold and bought by British royalty, European royalty, and robber barons, and American robber barons all signed on to it, all funded it, and our entire world has been governed by the science fiction dreams of people 160 years ago. And now the institutions are built, the machinery has been set in motion, and our entire society is this fake one we live in with fake money and fake values and fake news. And then above us, the scientific elite, Bill Gates, Ted Turner, the rest of them running around, jacking our vaccines, everything else. Oh, God. Oh, God. So horrible.
Oh, no. No.
It's so exhausting. I had a lot of energy this morning, but I am just exhausted now. And people say, well, Alex, don't be so negative. I'm not trying to be negative. But you've got to admit how bad things are. And the more that the deception is pulled from my eyes, the more I stare into the heart and soul of the New World Order, the more I am not even angry or even frustrated anymore. I am sad. Because let me tell you, it's not people that want money and power that are running things. It's people that love pain and destruction and death, and they want control to do horrible things. You can call it the devil, whatever you want. If there's not a devil, these people might as well be devils, because I can't imagine a devil being like this. It is so destructive, it is so evil, it is so out of control. We're going to go to Casey, Michael, Eric, Josh, Matthew, and others here in just a moment. Then I'll get into some more news here today. But we're not a negative radio show. The things we talk about are happening. I wish they weren't. But denying it's going on only makes it worse. Denying it's happening only makes it worse. And there's so many thousands of different flavors of bull out there. But if you go read globalist white papers, study history, research their program, study the scientific megalomania of these people, you understand what's going to happen. And it is an incredible responsibility to be one of the few outlets. And luckily, we understood this in the last decade. We got a clearer image of it. And 17 years ago, not so much, but I was still doing some good then. It's all a wake-up process for all of us. But the last decade or so, I've really cracked the code of these people and figured out exactly what they're about. And now it's becoming very evident we were completely right and then some. And we've got a fighting chance. And I'm seeing a lot of other people click to our lens, because we all see things through a lens, but our lens really decodes the globalist operations. And if you've got the will, you can see what we see. And let me tell you, I say the will because you're going to be living with the devils every day. I mean, you think you see evil now, folks? When you actually pull back the curtain, it's everywhere. And let me tell you, it is not fun. Once that idea is introduced, once that virus is introduced, it's over. And the sickest part is they take some of the best men who really believe they're doing good, and once they commit small evils in the name of a greater good, now they psychologically will produce an envelope or a membrane around that where they'll do more evil things and never admit any of it's wrong because they couldn't be a bad person. When you figure out that the devil's chariot is pulled by people that think they're saints, oh, man. All I can say, for those of you that have decided to serve the system, you better think twice. You better pray to God to open your eyes. Or if you've ever had bad feelings about what you're doing, but you don't know why, you better assess what you're part of. And you're signing on to pure evil. I mean, you're signing on to something that's beyond anything I could even articulate, beyond anything I could even grasp.
Hey there.
I marvel at the beast. I marvel at the monstrosity that it is.
Fun anymore. What do you say we just kill him?
I mean, it is just like a deer in the headlights for somebody who to even grasp it, to smell it. All right, I said I'd go to your calls, and I apologize. God, please bring him to justice. A lot of times I say, God, just go ahead and destroy the whole planet, me along with it, as long as they get it too. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just these people have got to be brought to justice, but it's a spiritual thing. We're meant to go through this. We're meant to face this. People are in denial, so the evil is going to get 10,000 times worse until people are forced to choose a side. Those of you that are in the middle, the lukewarm ones that God doesn't like, that wants to spit out of the mouth, it's you people. All of this, you either join with the evil or you join with the good. Choose a side. You must choose. You understand? You've got to choose. You've got to make a choice. You've got to. You've got to do it.
Huh?
Why?
It's because of you the evil has won. For you, because you sat down and said it wasn't your job, or it wasn't true, or, oh, that's a conspiracy theory, so you could just feel good about yourselves. You are bringing on all of our destruction. The evil people, they're completely given over and aren't even of this world, okay? They are just biological androids of Satan. They are just like a mange-covered goblin. You, though, you are the problem.
You almost fell down.
And you're out there, those laughing right now. That's your defense mechanism. You deep down are scared. You're scared. You think you're scared now. You're going to be a lot more scared. Because your inaction has allowed the most evil forces this world's ever seen to manifest and gather.
Oh, a faker, huh? I don't like being...
Are you ready?